Hello again. Recently, in the space of a couple of weeks, was very lucky to pick up two albums that I've had on my list for several years, that finding a good copy at a reasonable price, and just by pure chance they both showed up within days of each other, and they have now both arrived. It is the same album, which is King Creole, or in Mexico, El Rey Criollo. So as you can see, not called King Creole in Mexico. Of course it is Spanish for King Creole. Different front cover used. Really nice condition. The back cover, and there is another Elvis Gold Records Volume 1 being advertised. So in really good condition. Quite often the older records from South America have suffered, probably due to the humidity, but this is a nice example. I'll just point out the track listing is in English, and of course all the usual songs from the soundtrack. However, when you actually look at the record, so the inner sleeve, RCA Victor, but the record itself has a surprise on it. There is in fact an extra track. And it is on this side, so let's see if you can see it. Track 6 is I Got Stung. For some reason they put I Got Stung on the album as an extra track. Possibly just to even it out, 6 tracks each side. That doesn't appear on the cover. And I didn't realise it was there until I bought the record. So the song titles are in English. So that was one that I've wanted for a long time, but it does fetch serious money in really good condition. Now, this was from a seller in Mexico, and it was an auction. There were a lot of people watching the auction, and I thought, well, I've got no chance of getting it, but I'll just stick a bid on it to say that I tried, and mine was the only bid. And I got it for less than £100. If you find it on a UK dealer's list, you're probably looking in that condition at £400, £500, £600. So I was really pleased to get that. Unexpected. And then a week later, whilst looking around, by pure chance, a seller in Argentina had the Argentinian version, Melodia Siniestra, sinister melody, sinister song. Again, a very different looking cover, even though it's obviously recognisable. Elvis looks distinctly Latin American to me in the way they've coloured him and presented him. I'll look at the back cover. Now, interestingly, they repeat the mistake that Elvis plays in the film, a character called Danny Finnell. It's always confused me as to how that happened, but it seems that the same mistake was sent all around the world. So the song titles are in Spanish, Mexican, don't know, I assume they're the same thing. And there's the record label. Again, the song titles are in Spanish. And both records are remarkably good condition. I don't know if that's the original inner sleeve, but it's plain. And again, I paid a very reasonable price. A seller in Argentina, he sent it DHL and it arrived in 7 days. So between those two records we have Elvis Presley playing Danny Finnell as El Rey Criollo, singing a Melodia Siniestra. Tells a new story. So that's my two new King Creoles. Of course I've got the Japanese one with the different cover. So I'm pretty much covered, I think, for King Creole albums. There isn't a significant example that I need. The Uruguayan release copied the Argentinian cover, so you can find it from Uruguay, and it also includes I Got Stwung. I have seen sorry, got that wrong, cut that. The Uruguayan release also used the same cover as the Argentinian one, so you can find it from Uruguay. So between those two records we have Elvis Presley playing Danny Finnell as El Rey Criollo, singing a Melodia Siniestra. Tells a new story. So that's my two new King Creoles. Of course I've got the Japanese one with the different cover. So I'm pretty much covered, I think, for King Creole albums. There isn't a significant example that I need. The Uruguayan release copied the Argentinian cover. I'll just quickly mention another new arrival. Again, something I've been looking for a while. This was a German release, but it was also released in Finland. It appears to be a very odd single. The Walls Have Ears, Song of the Shrimp. Now you may ask yourself, why on earth would you release a single like that, especially in Finland? Well, the reason is that in Finland tango is very popular, so this was actually marketed as a tango single. In fact, so popular was the track that several other versions appeared.
Sua kuunnellaan, sillä seinilläkin korvat on. Joka askeleen lyhyen ja joka sanan hiljaisen. Seinät kuulla nyt voi, mutta kuulainen saa, kun sinuun katson. Sua kuunnellaan, sillä seinilläkin korvat on. Joka askelen lyhyen ja joka sanan hiljaisen.
Ensi kertaan asti, hei hei nyt.